Hi, my name is Kevin. I have a few miter boxes to go over with you with this. I just bought something new and it's kind of different. For those of you that do manual woodworking or are familiar with miter boxes, most of us are familiar with the standard iron box, saws mounted on a movable gib. The bed and the fence are both fixed, and all you do is move the saw back and forth to get your desired angles to make your cuts. Now, whether it's this type here, one of the wooden old school types where there are cuts made in predetermined angles, usually a couple of 45s and a 90, or the old wood bed style where you still had a fixed fence and bottom just out of wood, and then this part here would just move to get your cuts to whatever angle you want. But what I've got here is something new. This caught my eye a few years ago. It was called the revolving mitre box, and it took a little while to chase some information down on it. But what it is something called the Dorn's patent revolving mitre box. It was patented around 1900 by a guy named Rufus Herrick Dorn. He actually has about 4 patents for this particular mitre box. This particular one is pretty close to his second patent. And it's kind of neat in that the saw is fixed. Everything else moves around the saw. These fences move. The whole box can rotate like this. Stiffening up right now. But also these fences do not have to, they can be moved from anywhere from 22.5 to 45 to 90 degrees. I lucked out. I found this on the big auction site. It was damaged. One of the upright pieces was broken. There were cracks in the carousel. And the seller and I came to an agreement on price, and it showed up at my door. I spent some time stripping it all down, cleaning all the parts up. I have a very good friend who helped me braze the cracks and back so that they're all gone. It was here, and like I say, this whole arm here was just broken clear in half, and there were 2 or 3 cracks underneath. We fixed all of those. These are pretty expensive if you can find them. All right, if they're complete. This one is not complete. There's still a part missing. It's a little coping stop in the shape of a V that holds your coping at an angle so it stays flat against the fence. I haven't seen any of those. There are also other versions of this that are later made, and their castings are different in that there's only a single casting up here and not 2 of this. This is an early one. In the next couple bits, we'll show you, how to use it and what it's good for, and some comments about, its usability in general. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Okay, this is the Dorn's patent revolving mitre box. It's got 3 main components: the lower assembly, which is like a base, the upper assembly with the wings and the upright, all right, and obviously the saw. And the Dorn's, all right. The upper section can come right off. There's a pair of thumb screws that keep it located. And there are 4 pins to make sure that it lines up each time it comes on and off. We've got a brass guide here, along with, it does move well, along with a stop, which is located here. Same assembly as in the front. These stops have a lip and they catch the base of the spine to keep it from dropping down and digging into the channel. On the front, in addition to the brass slide and the stop, there is also a spring assembly here which catches the saw and holds it in the upright position until you're ready. To put it back on, it's just a matter of making the holes line up with the pins. Okay, there we go. All right. Again, the nice thing is it revolves around very nicely. It's kind of interesting in the marketing literature that I found for this. They claim that you could keep two workmen busy with it because you could have one fellow working on one side of the bench. He did his work, and then when he was done, they would rotate the box around, and the guy on the other side can do his work. I don't know how practical that is. It doesn't seem practical to me. I don't see it working, especially if they have to make changes to settings and things of that nature. So, for cutting, these two fences which move independently, and they have stops that are at 22.5, 45, and 90. You move these stops to the mark that you want, and then there's a little bit of a detent below on the carousel that allows it to catch and reposition the same way each and every time. Once those are in, and I've got it set for just a straight cut right now, a 90-degree cut, rotate it around. You do want to lock the base in so it doesn't move around too much. And then make your cuts. And let's see if we at least got reasonably close. And yes, we're pretty well square on this. I did not check my edges on here, but it's close. One thing I did find when I first started looking at this is that the feet of this box don't stay very well on their own. If you go to work with it, it just moves all around the bench. There's nothing really to hold it there. So I made a wooden base for it, which has holes corresponding to the 3 feet that are on the box. And then just get the pins to line up on the feet, and it stays put fairly well. It's not a lightweight box. It's about 25.5 pounds. For angle work, again, it's just a matter of moving the wings to wherever you want them. And you can actually do the same on both sides. You don't have to, but if you did it this way here, if you had a corresponding piece that needed to meet at the correct angle, then you could make your cut here like this, like you wanted. Lift it up after your cut, and then you do the other side. Well, then all you need to do is this to hold it. And make your cut there. And they'll meet. When both cuts are done, they will line up. Three, two, one. One of the things that really caught my attention about these mitre boxes was I had read in the literature that they were capable of doing a compound mitre, not just an angle in this direction here, but also a secondary one this way. It turns out that Dorn had 4 patents. This mitre box is pretty close to the second patent document that I got. Starting with the third patent document, he made a change to the fences here, and he put in an arc of a circle, about a quarter of a circle, like this. And then he patented a set of wings. Now these wings, I don't have any, I've never seen one, I've only seen pictures of them. But what they would do is they would be in here like this, and this half-round curve that he had here would allow it to move up and down. So imagine, if you will, you've got your first angle like this, but you want a second angle. You still leave the saw alone. You still have the angle set from here to cut, but it adds an element of a third angle, which gave you a bevel this way on here. I would love to find some of those wings. All right. After this model here, he assigned the patent or the rights, I don't know which way it works, to a company called Bronsdorf Miller in New Jersey. And they changed the design a bit. There's only a single element now. Instead of having 2 clamshell types, there's a single arm that comes up. It has, like I described, the arc that goes here that allows those wings to move up and down. The wings were the last patent he filed. And one of these days I'll probably find one of those other Brunsdorf Millers and just see if I can even fabricate a set of wings and see if it works. So that's everything I have on this. Like I say, it's a pretty neat box. It's not something I would use all the time. I've got my Langdons and my Goodells, and I'm pretty happy with those. This one here is a curiosity more than anything else. There is another compound capable mitre box out there by D.A. Hughes. I don't recall the particular title he has for it, but it appears to be almost like a regular mitre box with a flat back and a saw unmovable guides, but the saw guides themselves are capable of moving in 2 axes, not just left and right, but also angled up and down. So thanks for watching, appreciate it. Any comments are welcome. Take care.